We all know how important it is to properly prepare for a meeting. A special role is reserved for the organizer, who must clarify the goal and agenda in advance. And then a single word is not enough, because it is not yet clear what is expected of whom. With Yabbu, you send an action-oriented agenda in no time, by going through a few simple steps. So let's go to yabbu.com and click Login. Assume we're Mariah. And once we log in, we go to our landing page. And let's start a new meeting right away. It's a build-up, so we have to make a couple of steps. First we add a title and the goal. And then we can add participants. I can also add all members of a team at once. If I want, I can assign another author next to me. The author has some extra rights, like changing the order of the agenda, adding participants, changing the schedule, etc. I can also add a team to be informed. Then we go to the schedule. I can add a live meeting. It could be an office meeting or a video meeting. So I can add a video link. And I can set the date and time. And Yabbu closes 24 hours after the meeting, so I have time to make some final notes. Then we go to the agenda. Very important is that we do not only add an agenda item title, but that we also add what we expect from whom to create involvement. I can also attach a document and the duration of the agenda item, so we can start time boxing. And I can add a couple of other agenda items. And once done, I can change the order. For example, I can add the new guy agenda item to number 2, or the sales funnel. I can put it to 4, and once I'm ready, I can publish. And when I publish, all the participants will get an email invite and a ping on their mobile phone. When meeting data is all over the place, you lose the overview completely. It disappears in emails, calendar invites, poorly organized shared folders, chat groups, personal to-do lists, project tools, etc. With Yabbu, you have all meeting-related data in one place. It becomes easy to keep track of things and to manage the meeting properly without administrative hassle. So let's look at the interactive agenda. So I can see from the unread tag there are 3 new messages. So when I click it, it will guide me through everything that's new to me. So John responded, Esther responded and added a proposal, also added some tasks. And David also responded. I can use the list also as my navigation pane. This way I can walk through the agenda. I can see from the participants that already 3 people accepted the meeting by the green checks. I can also communicate myself. Of course, I can reply to David. There is automatically an mention when I reply, but I can also mention people myself. I can like. Let's also respond to David. There are also a couple of editor functions. I can also add tasks, decisions and documents. So let's add a task. And when I add a task, I can also add an assignee and due date. And doing so, together, we're already processing the meeting large part before the actual meeting starts. Often points are discussed that are not relevant for everyone or that some participants are already familiar with. That is a waste of time. To avoid this, Yabbu ensures that all informative, practical and administrative matters are already closed before the meeting starts. Meetings become short and crisp, and the interactive nature creates involvement and ownership. So let's talk about the magic now. I can also close agenda items before the live meeting starts. So let's close the first one, and make a decision, and submit. And let's also close the second one. And what you can already see is that the meeting gets shorter, because these agenda items, they're already done before we actually get together. So there is also a green check, and when I close an agenda item, it also gets a lock, so it's clear to all people that they cannot add comments anymore. So what you see is that the meeting only lasts 20 minutes now, because the first, second and third agenda items are already done, while we initially planned for an hour. So we can calculate the time that we saved together. We can also edit everything, and we can also remove comments and stuff as long as people didn't respond to it. There is also a yellow hamburger button in the upper right corner. You will see an overview of tasks, decisions and documents. And if you look at the documents, there is also a document preview, so you don't need to download a document to be able to read it. So now we arrived at the live meeting, and we see that we already closed the first 3 agenda items, so we only need to discuss the 4th. So the best way to take notes is click close, and you can do that in multiple agenda items if you have more agenda items to finish. And then of course I can add tasks, decisions and documents again. So let's also add a decision, and then I can submit, and then all agenda items are finished. I can also do that, of course, after the meeting, because I have 24 hours after the meeting to still edit some stuff. So there is a closed section with all closed meetings. So this meeting will close 24 hours after the meeting, but I can also close it manually before or reopen a meeting, because I'm a meeting author. Assume we have a follow-up meeting with the same people or team. I can click copy. There are a few options. I click next in series. I pick all agenda items. And it creates a new draft meeting from which I can change everything. So let's pick a new title. It's week 17 instead of 16. I can add someone. So I'm going to add Karin. And I have also the open action items. They are copied from the previous meeting, and the check tasks are left behind. I can also remove agenda items which I don't need anymore. I can change the content of an agenda item or the title. And of course I can drag and drop to change the order again until I'm happy with the new draft, and then I can publish it and everyone receives an invite for the new meeting. Yabbu is meeting-centric and therefore extremely flexible. Compare it with WhatsApp, but then with meetings instead of chat groups. Per meeting you easily set who should be admin for extra rights, who should participate and which teams should be able to co-read. And once a meeting closes, it disappears into the closed meetings section, so you can keep your eyes on the ball.